I first took it up, I was at Beechwood, and there was a coach came in and took us for like a sort of lunchtime session. It was mini squash at the time, so it was with a softball and some smaller rackets. I was about 8 years old and I just loved it straight away.
I played a lot of football when I was growing up, football and cricket really. My uncle was a tennis player and played for Great Britain at tennis, so he tried to get me into that, but Dad was a squash player, and so I found squash pretty young when I was about 4 or 5. But I think those 3 sports really, I played a lot when I was younger, and I've recently got into golf in the last few years, so that's been something that's taken up quite a lot of time.
I tried everything really. I used to play a lot of hockey, swimming, roller hockey. I feel like I sort of played every sport under the sun, to be honest, and it wasn't until I played squash that I knew this was one that I wanted to sort of dedicate a lot more time to and maybe sacrifice playing some of the other sports a little bit more. Trying to give them a few tips on tactics and technique and stuff, but more than anything just hoping that they enjoy the session, and it's great to see so many young kids enjoying their squash, playing very good squash as well. I think the standard's quite high here, and you know, if they enjoy it as much as I feel like they have today, then I can see a really healthy future for the game over here.
Just, you know, to enjoy it. Squash is a great sport for anyone to take up. It keeps you fit and healthy. You know, for them it was just a matter of keeping a smile on their face and making sure that they're having fun whilst running around and burning off some energy.
I think I was around 12 when I started sort of not going to as many football matches, cricket matches, stuff like that, and saying, no, I'd rather play squash. I think you can't do that too early, and it has to come from, you know, that came from me, it didn't come from my parents, my coach, anyone else. It purely came from the fact that I knew I wanted to be good at squash. I wanted to, you know, I had my eye on a few people that I wanted to beat, and I said I know that I had to work harder than everyone else, so I'm not going to play football anymore. I'm going to dedicate my time to squash.
I mean, I think it's something that I would always say not to specialise until you know, later on. Enjoy as many sports as you can when you're younger. I think it gives you a good rounded view of all sport and competitiveness. You know, it's something that squash is a sport that's tough physically, mentally. So you know, the more you can prepare for that by playing different sports, I think that's probably the most important thing.
This year my highlight was the KL Open, where I made the semi-finals and I beat the world number 5, Karen Darwish. But I think over the years, my first Commonwealth Games in Manchester in 2002, I was 15 years old and I'd never really been exposed to professional squash, and I went there just watching the guys, got to train with a few of them, and that was just fantastic.
I think I was British champion in 2011, which is a highlight for me, and then this year just gone, 2013, England became World Team champions, and I was part of that winning team, which was a very proud moment for me.